My name is Farukh Kohistani. I'm a biology pre-med student. I'm senior. I was born in Kabul, Afghanistan, and left when I was 4, so came here when I was 7. I live in Worcester, Mass. I don't have to say it, but yeah, so like most of my childhood was just like playing with my neighbors. I do remember having to secretly go to school in my neighbor's house because during that time the Taliban were there, so women were not allowed to go to school. So we had a neighbor who was a teacher previously before the Taliban stopped women from becoming teachers as well. So we used to go to their house and she taught like a group of other people from our neighborhood and we just learned there. We would know like we were told what we can and cannot do, especially to like keep us safe. So they told us to keep it a secret because the Taliban were gonna like harm us and the teacher if they found out. So we were informed about everything. And like I have like a lot of pride for Afghanistan. Like I'm one of the biggest like Afghan like lovers. So I always ask about Afghanistan and like my childhood and then like things that are currently happening. And I know it has affected my mom's life a lot because one, when she was 17, they took her father, murdered him, and like threw his body in the water. So that's like she was affected at a young age. And then she also couldn't go to school so she finished high school, but then because of the Taliban invasion, she couldn't go to college, which she always wanted to do. But my dad was arrested. I mean, like my dad was taken by them, and since he didn't want to fight for them, he was like arrested and he had to escape prison. And like he walked in like a desert area for like 2 days straight, no water, no food, and he had to like find a way to not get caught but still like make it back to us where they knew where he was. So like I don't know, that whole transition of like wanting him to fight for them, he said no, so they arrested him, and then just like trying to get back to us. I know there's like he's had a couple of encounters with them. I know my grandfather had a couple encounters. I can't like recall specifics, but I know that we've had like direct effect from the Taliban. Mantu is my favorite. It's kind of like a dumpling, and it has meat inside, and it's pretty similar to a dumpling. It's just like the way that they make it, and they add I think it's called dill. I don't know what it's called in English, but you add like the sauce on top of it, and it was and still is like my favorite food in the whole wide world. The taste, it's because I was 4, so I don't really like remember how the taste would differ here. I'm pretty sure it does differ because of the ingredients there. Is like the ingredients they use is more natural than here. But it's the specific ingredients were the same because my mom like stayed very close to like tradition and culture and like keeping things exactly the same. So she'd go to like, if a store was really far but she knew it had what she was looking for, she'd go there, and like she tries to keep it as similar as possible. And I think it did have a different meaning in the sense that now it's like a part of my culture that I can bring here with me or like keep here with me, whereas there it was just like normal. Here like when we have it, it's like, oh my god, like here we're having this food again. And my mom always cooks Afghan food, so we have like traditional food every day, but it's just like the meaning I guess is like different in the sense that it's just like a part of my culture that I got to bring with me, whereas like certain things I had to leave behind. So that night it was just like really dark. I remember my little sister was like wrapped up and like really warm because it was cold, and we just got into a bus, and the rest of it I don't remember that much, but I know like we secretly ran away, got into a bus, and like got somehow smuggled into Pakistan. And then from Pakistan it took 2 years. Like my mom constantly constantly like had meetings and like going to the government and like talking to them about trying to get us to come to the US because Pakistan's not much better than Afghanistan. And I remember this one day we were at our house in Pakistan, and this government officials walked in, and you're not supposed to have specific documents. There's certain documents that you weren't supposed to have that we did from Afghanistan. And I remember they like started searching the house, and my mom opened the closet and she saw the paper right on top of the shelf. So she secretly like slid the paper out and gave it to my older sister, who somehow knew like she had to hide it, and she hid it. I'm so glad she didn't give it to me, because I'm pretty sure I would have been like, Mom, why you give this to me? So, but yeah, she like I remember that. And then from Pakistan, when I was like 6 or 7, that's when like our case got approved, and we were allowed to come to the U.S. But we first went to Denver before coming to Boston. So I came April 2002, which was right after 9/11. So I'm Muslim. I'm from Afghanistan. So I was like a walking target. I got bullied a lot during my first few years, and I remember like going home crying but hiding it from my mom, because I knew what she was going through, because at this point I was like 6 or 7, so like I knew things to do and things not to do. And in 4th grade, I remember an encounter I had with this kid, and we were arguing about something, and he was like, his argument wasn't very valid, so he was like losing, and I think he like didn't know what to say, so he turned to me and he was just like, why don't you just go back to your country? And I remember like that was it. I started bawling my eyes out, like, and my response to him was, I wish I could, but I can't. And so like, I don't know, that just made me realize how much I hated being in the US, because I felt like it was like a country that preached like equality or like acceptance but practiced intolerance, and like I just didn't, like, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was a land of happiness and opportunity that I thought it was gonna be when I came. And okay, there's this dessert that my sister and I have literally been dying for since we left Afghanistan. Like, and we've searched like how to make it and everything, you just can't find it anywhere. So I would definitely just go and like try that dessert first. It's called pudin, which one of the reasons you can't find it, because when you go Google it, it gives you pudding, and I'm like, no, I'm talking about pudin. But yeah, that's definitely like probably the first thing.